Hey there, riders. Chris from mcnews.com.au here today with the latest Classic 350 from Royal Enfield.
This isn't a huge model revamp, instead we're seeing a host of updates that mainly fall into the quality of life side of things, which isn't a bad thing. Pricing also starts at 8k right away, making for an inviting entry point into motorcycling, or pretty good value for the general rider who doesn't put a huge emphasis on performance. The 350 runs the BS6 engine introduced in 2020, which bumped performance, added EFI, and plenty of refinement. 2025, by contrast, introduces a new LED headlight, a feature we've been seeing slowly added to each new Royal Enfield. Your colour options start with the base Madras Red and Jodhpur Blue, jump to the Medallion Bronze or Commando Sand as ridden, before another jump to the Gun Grey and Stealth Black options, which also have alloy wheels. And then you move up to the top Emerald Chrome. There's some variance too in whether they get chromed or blacked out components, so it's worth taking a good look at each of these bikes. That cowled headlight design remains, which is a very classic feature, but the headlight is much more modern and includes the Royal Enfield logo. Doing our test ride during the day, it's pretty hard to judge how effective the LED headlight is, but the old halogen lights, in my opinion, weren't particularly impressive, so there should be a gain here. The USB-C port is also hidden in under the left switch block, making for an easy charging point if you're running a phone mount or third-party nav. The switch blocks themselves and the grips are also updated, incorporating your dash toggle for going through the readouts. The Classic 350 does keep things relatively analog, but that LCD dash now offers a gear indicator, which will probably help new riders most of all. I found myself surprised there was an extra gear at times, considering the machine is a 5-speed, but I wasn't really checking the dash. You will be using feel for gear changes and revs, however, with a speedo but no tacho. However, with a relatively lazy single cylinder, that's no issue at all. If you go to the top Classic 350 offerings, apart from the special paint schemes dedicated to those options, there's also some extras. Probably the most noteworthy being the Royal Enfield Tripper system, which offers a simple navigation unit that is incorporated into the top of the triple for an easy and clean setup. While not as complicated as a full modern navigation system, this will likely do the job for many riders, keeping in mind these aren't a touring bike. Other extras are a set of adjustable levers and LED indicators, with the bonus of white lenses rather than the more glaring orange indicators. Whether that's worth the extra 800 to 900 is really going to be up to you, but a decent set of aftermarket levers, indicators, and even just a phone mount with anti-vibration will take a chunk out of that amount. Another interesting inclusion is also the pillion seat, which is apparently an Australian special. Other markets get a single seat only, with the pillion seat an accessory. Now, a quick rundown of the bike specs start with an air-cooled 349cc single producing 20 horsepower and 27 Nm of torque, a 5-speed gearbox as mentioned, and EFI. Forks are 41mm units with twin shocks that have 6 steps of adjustment, preload of course, and brakes are a single 2-piston caliper on a 300mm front rotor with a 270mm rear rotor and single piston floating caliper. Naturally, there's ABS, as it is, after all, an Australian requirement. Wheels are the spoked or alloy 19-inch front with a 100/90 tyre and an 18-inch rear with a 120/80 rear tyre. Seat height is a relatively low 805mm, with the bike weighing in at 195 kilos, which is on the heavy side on paper for a 350, but Royal Enfield have really minimised the use of plastics, so particularly for this class of bike, it's not exactly surprising. Now on to looking at the actual bike in the flesh.
As you can see here, this is the up-spec model, so we're getting the beautiful chrome all over it, a nice dash of metallic green paint as well. Really stands out. I gotta say, the premium models do seem like the best bet for me. You get the little Tripper dash, you get adjustable levers. There's a couple of little extras thrown in. However, they start at 8 grand on the road right away for the base model. And then I think these are about 8.8, which is pretty good value for a 350. Lamb's legal motorcycle, great entry point into motorcycling. These are a very relaxed machine. They're more of like a gentleman's cruiser, I would say. Not in the traditional cruiser Harley sense, but has a cruiser that you're gonna have fun on. They've got a nice wheeling engine, but not super performance tuned. It's just a fun thing to ride. Nice torque. You've got a good gearbox. I actually saw at one point about 115 on the speedo. So, you know, if you want to do the freeway, it's not going to be an issue. You are on the tapped out side of things, but I think it's capable. A great looker, a relaxed machine, a really relaxed ergonomic to the bike as well. I'll jump on and give you a look. So as you can see here, hopefully, easy reach to those bars, a little bit narrower bars, which is nice as well. You've got easy reach to the ground. I'm a 32-inch inseam. I'm not the tallest guy, so it gives you a bit of an idea there. And it's got a quite well padded seat. So overall, a really good combo. Brakes, pretty decent. It's not a performance machine, so keep that in mind. On the suspension, I'm about 70, 75 kilos. The bottom was dropping out under me, but overall, it's just a fun machine, really good value, easy thing to ride, and a great place to start your riding or spend your time riding if you're into a more casual and fun machine. So that is a wrap from the Classic 350 launch. Obviously, this is more of a little revamp than a full model update, but I gotta say it's a cool little machine from Royal Enfield. Check out the full written review at mcnews.com.au. And yeah, if you've got any questions, leave them down below. Thanks for watching.